welcome back to, well, my first film in a while. Yes, it's me, Bingo Bob. I'm feeling better from my cold. It's still there slightly, you can hear it in my voice. But overall, I should be hunky-dory. I was waiting for this cold to end before I filmed again. Because I hadn't done the stand-up yet, because I'm really pondering how to make my set less Doctor Who focused and more bingo focused, but I've sort of got that confusion of how much I should write about, talk about Doctor Who, and how much I should talk about my love of bingo, because I'm a man who loves two things in life. One, bingo calling, hence the name Bingo Bob, and two, Doctor Who. So, yes. Now, I was watching the Tom Mason YouTube channel the other day, the YouTube channel you're watching now, and he said, oh, hello, welcome to Whovian News. And Whovian News was a web series that he tried to create as sort of a TV show type thing, and he knows. And I will agree, he failed miserably at turning into a TV show. It's trapped in a state of who knows, and it's not going to improve anytime soon, because it's the attitude he's got towards it that needs to adapt. In order for it to work, and for it to make sense, and to order Chicken Kiev. So, what I've decided, and TGM Productions, Tom Mason, and the whole idea board for this channel have decided, well, I said to him, hello, I just watched your 3-part special all about the new Whooniverse show on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. The films were amazing, yeah, really good. The first one you knew you made errors, so you had to make a second one, and then the third one you wanted to talk more about it, and you really did. And then I heard rumours, very faint rumours, that you wanted to create an omnibus, and thought, that's a cop-out. When was the last time you did an omnibus? I'm not going to let you do that. And I thought, I'm gonna go march down there and go, I'm gonna go march down there and go, no. And I thought to myself, well, I don't disagree with the omnibus, but there needs to be some more to this omnibus to make it sort of worthwhile. So I thought, as a fan, I'll create an intro, as in like, it'll go the audio description mentioning the Whooniverse, it'll go the title sequence that promotes TGM Productions at the beginning and introduce the video. Then I'll talk for currently 4 minutes. And then we'll do part 1, then part 2 and part 3, and then you could be on your way. So I thought, well, it'll spruce it up, and instead of calling it Whovian News, we'll call it Bingo Bob's Whovian News, whatever the title of the video is called, Omnibus. So it means that we get more of a interesting slant on the subject, but you get it from the point of view of me, Bingo Bob. So, now that we spent 5 minutes talking A, about why I'm here, and B, why I've not done the stand-up yet, now I want to talk about the Whooniverse show. So, the Whooniverse show to me is an official BBC Doctor Who YouTube channel exclusive that, if more of a budget was given and more things were done to make it high-end rather than a YouTube product, it could have gone onto BBC Three. Because obviously, if you don't know, in Australia, of all places, they had a program called Whovian, I think it was just called. And I think, personally, that could come back, but as the Whovian show, but have it on BBC Three here in the UK, ABC in Australia and America, and so that it's on national broadcasters around the world. And I think that that would make the concept a lot more together. Because at the moment you can tell it's for YouTube, but I think that if we wanted it to be on televisual broadcast, then this is the way forward. And it might be the way backwards, I don't know, but I personally really like Crystal D as a host, and I think that it works. There's a lot of things that need improving, but as we've always said, it's only the pilot episode, and obviously every other episode gets slightly better as time goes on, if that makes any more sense than it should. So, to end off my part of this Omnibus, I like to say that A, the Whovian show is brilliant. B, the only thing I didn't like about it is none of them were looking into the camera. You can tell that that's what they were trying to do. Yeah. But really, they missed it. Not my fault, not their fault, not anyone else's fault. I had a conversation with, who was it? Albert Flowerpot earlier, and he said it's one of the tricky things to do when you're told as an actor to not look into the lens, but then as a host or a presenter of a film for the interwebs like this, you have to look into the lens. And he's like, so he understands why that didn't happen, and he admires it. And I thought, fair play. If you admire it, Albert Flowerpot, then yeah, fair play. Fair play. So, yeah, without further ado, please enjoy parts 1, 2, and 3 of episodes merged together of Whovian News. I have been your breath of fresh air to an omnibus, Bingo Bob, and hopefully I'll see you over on Tom's Comedy Club, where I'll be performing some brand new stand-up. But before I do that, I heard rumours, not too sure, that Tom Mason will be uploading some stand-up first, because he wants to do a bit of stand-up before the end of August, because he wants to feel like he's at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which, is still going on. So, without further ado, here is 1, 2, 3, parts 1, 2, 3 of Whovian, of the Whovian News. Enjoy! Hello, and welcome back to Whovian News. This is a short one because we've got 6 minutes left on the SD card. Today we're talking about the Whovian News, that there is a brand new YouTube exclusive show on the Doctor Who YouTube channel called The Whovian Show. Now, as we all know, that when you are a fan of Doctor Who, you make a fan series, you have to come up with a name for the thing you're doing that's fan related. So, I've got Whovian News, I've got Who Honori, I've got Who School, I've got Doctor When and the Fandom of Doom, Doctor What, and all these others, right? You've got Doctor Who, the community show, you've got all sorts, right? Now, when you are the official account, and once you've tried to be respectful to the fans, it's hard to come up with a title that hasn't already been taken. So calling it the Whovian Show sort of does tell you what it's about, but without saying we're Doctor Who in the Fan Show. Crystal D is back, and Tyrone, I do apologise if I've got his name wrong, is back. They both did the original Doctor Who official podcast. They did it back for the 6th year. They are official Doctor Who fans, because she used to be part of the 5 Who fans, and she's made it clear in her life, Crystal D, that Doctor Who is her passion, as well as other franchises. But I've seen the first episode without criticising it too much, due to the fact that it was only the first episode, so they were trying to find their feet. Them not looking at the camera in the right shot, that is an editing mistake probably, rather than a filming mistake. But hopefully, because the criticism has been pointed out, hopefully in the next episode that gets fixed. I think the different segments are really good, and I feel like you can tell at points that Crystal D in particular is portraying herself as a genuine fan, whereas the other person is trying to present himself as a presenter, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, you're alright to do that, and I don't mind that. It's just when the Crystal D talks, I can feel that she genuinely means what she's saying, whereas for him, I'm just feeling like he's saying it because he's either been told to or is trying to get the job right. So I think in the next few episodes, I think if he just tweaks his style of presenting and the way he speaks and the way he acts in this show to be more in level with Crystal D, then that would be fine. Because then it's like you're watching the same thing. Because it just seems odd when one's trying to be heavily presenter, one's trying to be heavily themselves. And I think that's the only criticism I could say about it. So we just need his presenting style just needs to be synced more to how Crystal D's doing it, so that it feels more right. And what I really liked about the episode was, and this is going to be my last point on this, is the Kablam robot, which is the Kablam with the delivery service in the Jodie Whittaker era, like a DPD type thing. So I'm glad that they brought that in to help with the news of what products are available and what new things are selling and all this other. So I quite like that was used in that sense, because I do think that it advances and it adapts the story going forward, and that could only be a good thing. So, overall, I think the Whovian show is really good, but I think it'll be better in episode 2 onwards, because they will have found what didn't work. In the edit, the criticisms that the fans have given will be taken on board, and the feedback. So I think the next episode will fix all the areas that we believe, but will also adapt and develop where we're at. So this is part 2 of a series. This is part 2 of this week's edition of Whovian News. Now, I wasn't going to do part 2, and then I was editing thumbnail on the film. But what had happened was that we didn't realise that I had said the wrong name for the show. I got a lot of the information wrong, but when I was looking for the thumbnail image, I found that the official BBC article on the official Doctor Who website. So I thought, well, obviously now I need to do a part 2 to read the article and be clear of all the mistakes that were made in the first part. So issue number 1. The show is called the Whoniverse Show, not the Whovian Show. And that's really the main gripe. But let's read this article. Now, the article first came out, as I'm going to nitch you back, I do apologise, first came out on the 15th of August, 2025. It reads, Tyrell Charles, Tyrell space Charles, Crystal D, and Christine Arabelle, spelled Arieelle, host the debut episode of a new original series for Doctor Who fans. The Whooniverse Show, a brand new digital magazine series produced by BBC Studios digital brand premieres today exclusively on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. From breaking news, special features, episode breakdowns, and new product launches to interviews and fan spotlights, the Whooniverse Show focuses on the latest happenings in the Whooniverse, offering a fresh and engaging look at everything Doctor Who. Each episode delivers coverage tailored for fans worldwide, celebrating shared passions and legacy of global Doctor Who fandom. The first episode is hosted by Tyrell Charles, Tyrell, and Crystal D, with US correspondent Christine spelled Krystina. Her last name is spelled Arielle, reporting directly from San Diego Comic-Con 2025. Highlights from the very first episode include a deep dive into unit's top secret facilities, the Black Archive, both the physical immersive experience recently unveiled in San Diego and its digital counterpart on the Doctor Who website. A visit to the Doctor Who expedition, Worlds of Wonder, where science meets fiction, currently at the Comic-Con Museum in San Diego. A look at the mysterious prop of the month. A mysterious prop of the month, as the Harry Hills TV bird referenced there. A special retrospective review of Terror of the Zygons, marking 50 years this month since it originally broadcast. Showcase of incredible fan art from across the fandom. A special hands-on and hastened look at the new merchandise from the BBC shop. And some breaking news with exclusive new book announcement from Penguin Random House. Luke Spinell, spelled Spillane, head of their digital fandom at BBC Studios. What a weird title. It's a weird title because you wouldn't expect a head of digital fandom would exist as a job, but apparently it does. He comments, the Whooniverse Show is to celebrate everything we love about Doctor Who. A show made by fans, for fans, whether you've been watching forever or just stepped aboard the TARDIS. This show is your front row seat to the heart of the fandom. Expect surprises, special guests, and a whole lot of Who. Tune in from today, Monday the 11th. Today's date, Sunday the 12th of August. But tune in from Monday the 11th of August at 3 p.m. on the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. New episodes will be posted periodically to celebrate one of the most iconic sci-fi franchises in television history. Wow. So, what that does, in an incredibly small nutshell, is sort of explain all the errors I made, right? So, names of people, I'm no longer need to apologise, and the fact that it was called the Whooniverse Show, not the Whovian Show. So, the main criticism people have got of this news is why now? Why not during the 15th series? And I, for one, I understand why they're doing it now, and I really like it. I think next episode will improve massively because you always have to start somewhere, and it will get better as the run goes on. I do see why, because they're doing episode breakdowns, why they didn't. I do see why a lot of people have that criticism of it not happening during the 15th series. I'm not too sure why. And also, I've also noticed that they don't forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel at the end with Shooting Hour anymore, which is also strange. But that's my own personal opinion on that strangeness. Overall, I think it's exciting. I think the first episode was good, with a lot of areas to improve. And that's because, so, if you watch my very first episode of Whovian News and watch this one now, you can see that whether or not it's improved, that's for you to decide, but you can see the evolution of it. So people say, oh, this is terrible, oh, it's awful, right? You can say that, but I wouldn't recommend chatting about it, because episode 2, I can guarantee, will be better than episode 1, because if you always take what's at face value, it's never going to be the same. So when you watch the US version of Ghosts, which is a remake of the UK version, then the US version starts off identical and then builds its own brand and becomes its own thing. And that's what Doctor Who, the Whoniverse show is doing now, is that at the moment people are thinking it's like the fan show, so that's the identity they've got stuck at the moment. But eventually, once you've decided and worked out how to make it unique in their own, then that's what will happen. It'll end up being unique on its own, and you'll enjoy it more. What I want to talk about is how we kind of help the BBC to go, look, we like the Whoniverse and all. The Whoniverse show is brilliant. It's really good, but we need to improve it to get people returning. So, first one, make sure that people are looking directly in the right camera, so feed them in an earpiece. Be slightly more on the ball with that. Number 2, change the set slightly. Make the people sit close together. Have correspondents who have never done anything with the BBC before. Get proper Doctor Who fans. I know Crystal and the other bloke are Doctor Who fans, but we just need more. Because them two are good enough, but we need more. So we need them as guests. We need a rotation of actual Doctor Who fans that don't do anything online but want to talk about it. A Doctor Who fans that do things online. So we need, like, I don't know, Tharis on an episode. We need George Shade on an episode. We need Confused Adipose on an episode. We need, I'm trying to think of others now. We need Josh Carr. We need all these others. And Crispy Pro, we need him as a Zoom call in, as long as George Shade. Not George Shade, we already said him, Josh Snare. That's it. So I think that if you include some of the online fans other than Crystal, I don't think he's a fan of Doctor Who, but he's in the online space through the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. So that's all I think, but get them as guests so that you can bounce off the host choir, because I think Crystal D does a fantastic job of hosting and acting within these. Now, if they were to have guests on, I would suggest you get the 5 Who fans, because Chris Johnson used to work at the BBC anyway with CBC, so he is well known, so he would be a good name to have on the show. And I think if you really want to think about it, the more guests that you funnel that are outside the BBC, then you give more people exposure time, and you make sure that it's as accurate and as fan focused as possible, because that's the bit that people would find hard, is that it might not be as fan focused as they would like, because they've seen things found on a lot of other official Doctor Who YouTube channel things. So I understand where they come from with that, but my solution is to include some other fans, but bring them on as special guests to the show. And I think that would help to make it more interesting and to sort of help develop who they are and who the show is as a whole.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Tom Mason YouTube channel